My name is Jonathan Prey from Prey's Market in Plattsburgh, New York. Coming up on Meet the Farmer TV, learn more about how supporting a local community and supporting a local business like Prey's here is good for all of us.
This program is a production of Meet the Farmer TV, LLC, in association with Planet Earth Diversified, Melli Productions, and Leslie Lee Jenkins Photography and Graphic Design. I'm Michael Clark for Meet the Farmer TV.
Hey Michael, how you doing? We're in about 25 miles from the Canadian border in Plattsburgh, New York. Here at Prey's Market, which is a family business of ours. Actually, I'm third generation. My grandfather, he started the business in 1965, it was. My father and his three brothers are the current owners, and then there's me, and there's some cousins of mine that'll be possibly future owners. Without local people, there'd be nothing. There's a lot of big companies out there that are very eager for the dollar, but not eager to please the local people in general. Without, like I said, without local people, supporting us or supporting smaller area businesses, there should be left of bigger guys who are just hungry for the U.S. dollar. That's all. You buy local. I mean, you're supporting families. You're supporting their families. I've been working here since I've probably been 15 years old anyways, in summers, and then as soon as I graduated high school I started here full time. But as far as what I've learned being a family business, I mean, it's really a lot of hard work. A lot of people think working for your family is very easy. I mean, you can come in when you want, leave when you want. It's the exact opposite. We work 70, 80 hours a week sometimes. And yeah, it's a very hard, grueling job to be a farmer. What's rewarding to me is to be able to see the people come in week to week. It's the same people, be able to talk to them like you're part of their family almost. It's especially we open up May 1st every year, to see the people come in and say, "Oh, I'm glad you're open. I'm glad that the Prey's is finally open again." It's a rewarding factor. What's also very rewarding to me is, I'm coming into my own now. I'm almost 30 years old. I've actually started delivering up to the Lake Placid area, and to be able to speak to the customers on a personal level and sell them, homegrown product. It makes me feel like I've accomplished something inside. Like taking the extra step forward to support my family and maybe bring it on down the road, farther down the road. Especially nowadays, a lot of kids, they just want to maybe be involved with computers or be involved with jobs that are 40 hours a week. To me, that it definitely be nice sometimes, but it just would be a lot less gratifying to know that just to put in a 40-hour, 8-hour day it's not in it for me, where if I work 10, 12 hours, maybe a 14-hour day, I feel like I actually accomplished something, and that it would help my family, and it would help the family business live on. That's all. As of late, I've seen actually a couple of years now, I've seen a big or strong urge for local businesses and bigger corporate companies to buy local, to support other local vendors. Once again, it's not only supporting the business itself, it's supporting families. I mean, it's not, we're not in it for commission, we're in it, for, a family affair type thing, to wake up every morning and go out and do chores and, come to work and take care of our customers on a daily basis. Like I said, it's more of a type of personal gratification than it is a profitable business. As far as farming goes, I mean, you just don't put a seed in the ground and then expect it to grow. I mean, there's months there where you got to actually, cater to the seed. You got to feed it. You got to water it. Relying on Mother Nature. I mean, sometimes we don't get rain for weeks. And that's where irrigation comes in. And irrigation, that's a job in itself. Laying the irrigation pipe, and then the tractors taking care of that. I mean, and that's another thing. Not everything can be done on farm equipment. Actually, you have to get out and get your hands dirty once in a while. If someone gets hurt, on the farm or even on the retail business here, they they have the right to call in sick, or they can call in sick where the family member, if I got a hurt back or someone has a cold, they got to come to work every day to open the doors up and fill the shoes of the person that is called in sick or is ill. As far as growing wise, on our farm we grow a lot of corn, a lot of strawberries. We're kind of noted for our local strawberries at the end of June, early July time. Grow a lot of green beans, yellow beans, green squash, yellow squash. Do a lot on zucchini, or excuse me, pumpkins, winter squash. We do a little bit on raspberries, but for the most part, strawberries and corn are our strongest products. A lot of people realize that we've become such a big business that we only have maybe 150 acres, and that doesn't quite support the business. I mean, our business is just so big that we have to reach out to smaller farmers around here. We also do a good business with the Canadian growers across the border. That's as far as produce goes. We also do some with bulk products as far as trail mixes. Our bakery, we do a big bakery business as far as donuts, pies, breads, a few other cookies, things like that, sweets. As far as the local buyers here, we also do a very strong wholesale business. So we deliver not only in Plattsburgh area, we deliver Keysville, Westport, E-Town, Mariah, Willsboro, down south that way. We also have a Albany wholesale market in Manans. What's really important to me is my father's getting older, my uncles are getting older. I mean, I'm just trying to come up with new ideas. I'm trying to look for that next thing, to keep the business going. I mean, you got to change with the times. The times are changing every day. Just trying to come into my own and come up with other ideas to make things profitable for the business, but also still attract the people who come in and spend. Yeah, that's it. We also supply a lot of the local schools in the area. Keysville, actually, where I went to school, I mean, they're still getting fresh fruits and vegetables from us. As far as institutions, the nursing homes, all the nursing homes in town buy from us. There's also some nursing homes farther south of here that buy from us. And hospitals, there's a few hospitals that, purchase fruits and vegetables from us also. And in a time where it's hard to get fresh produce and, the bigger companies, corporate companies, they're more about buying trail loads where we buy a few pallets at a time. Our turnaround volume is a lot quicker. In the end, it's a lot fresher produce to the customer. The next one after me that really would have any interest in, he's only at about 17, 18, something like that. So he's working on the farm, yeah. And there's one, actually no, he's about 20, and the next one underneath him, he's about 17, I guess it is.
And you're watching Meet the Farmer TV.
Hi Michael, I appreciate the fresh vegetable. Me and my family, as I grew up in a vegetable farm back in my home, and we have greenhouses and we grow all kinds of vegetables. So I know fresh vegetable, I appreciate it very much, and our local customer, local produce company here is Praise Farmers Market, and they do a phenomenal job in the summer. They have all produce. I have myself a herb garden in the back of my restaurant, and I appreciate that very much. I still have some left, but the snow coming up soon. And like I said, vegetable is where there's no sauce, there's nothing, it should be fresh. And I do get a lot of compliment from my customers about my vegetables. Like I said, that's something, it will be on your plate, and it will be very fresh, and people need to see that. So very much when I know I'm putting all my money in town that support me and make me feel good, and plus I'm getting the best produce from Praise Farmers Market. When I spend my money at my local guy and I see him in my restaurant having lunch, to me it's it's appreciation. And I'm buying his food, he's buying mine, one hand washing other. He knows who I am, I know who he is. You go to a big company, we don't even know who's the owner, we don't know his name. So I don't even know if he's in my restaurant or if I ever see him again. I believe a small town, when you have a small business and you're spending your money there, it's gonna get back to you for some reason. Because we small town, we know everybody knows everybody, and like I said, I buy my vegetable from him, he buy his dinner from me, and that make me feel good. It's very important to me, as I said, when I'm buying my products or my meat, it have to be fresh. When you buy local, there's no doubt about because it's a fresh, and you buy same thing. We buy our meat fresh, so I think the customer appreciate it, and that make me feel good about my customer are happy with the products that we buy local, that you can find in the freezer from, been in the freezer for 5 6 months. My employee make fun of me because I eat vegetable like a rabbit, but I think that keep me healthy and keep me keep going. And I think my customers, I tell so many people about how healthy vegetable is good for you. And when you eat it from the garden, absolutely tastes so much better than the one you buy from the store. My whole family, I grew up actually, my whole family, until now, they are in the farm business. Farm, and not animal, is just vegetables. We have greenhouses, we grow all year round, all kind of vegetable you want. We have all of the trees that we produce our own olive oil. We pickle olives, and so to me, we milk our own milk, and so that's a very country, and I like to keep it that way. Like I said, I have a farm in the back of my restaurant, and I have a small garden. I mean, and one in my house, and to me, it's like my culture stay with me. I think it's important because when you grow up on the farm, I think there's something good about it. You have a good family value that you continue, and I am the third generation of this, and I want to have my kids continue with that same road. And like I said, the hard work on the farm is very hard work, but you appreciate it someday because it does make you a better person, more healthy, and like I said, I would love to continue that with someday, hopefully, with my kids. I think most of my customers, because we live in a small town, most of my customers sees me in the back, afternoon when I have a break, I'm gardening and picking my tomatoes. A lot of customers ask me, your vegetable is healthy. I tell them I buy it from Praise, I have it from my house. So I think, like I said, a small town, people notice that you have that quality of produce. The meat, I buy it from on Route 9, the place. They are a great family, nice people. Seafood, as you know, where we live, there's really the only seafood we got here in the winter, where it's called perch. We have people they come to my restaurant. They have a license. They sell it to me. That's locally. That's the only fish I think we have around this area. So I wish we have more because seafood is my specialty. I believe it's just not for the money. It's you hold we all need to have a family value. We all need. I went visit my family, and I mean the whole planet for me to see my family and work with them. And I think it's very important for the kids to jump on and whatever his daddy doing, and just help him and be just like your daddy. Be proud and. And I think that's, to me, it's priceless. You can't find that anywhere. Sometimes it's hard to. So I think that's very important, and I tell, like I said, we all need to have that value. We cannot lose. We have to, and when you have a father's working, and there's nothing better than just sit next to your dad, get tired with him, and then, go home and have a nice meal that's your mom cooked for you, and sit down and relax. And that's, to me, it's like, very important in life. When you say, like my last name is Tartoussi, and back home when you say Tartoussi, people talk about this family. It's a family value. They stick together. They help each other. They help other people. So that makes me proud of who I am. Like my dad, I remember he used to yell at people driving, "Stop by! I want to give you a case of tomatoes." So I remember, and I never forget those days. And that's where I think we should be, just give people, help your community. I see sometimes I go to my house, I see my neighbor left some apple for me. To me, that means the world. I can't even, I don't know how to appreciate my neighbor when he does that. And I think we should teach our kids, that's when you give, like my dad used to say to me, throw in the ocean, don't look back. He said, because you just you need to know is you're doing good thing. Sometimes it may come back to you, and if it does, it doesn't, it's all good, because in your heart you should know. So when you wake up, you have to do a good thing for your neighbor, for your community, and that's what I believe in. I appreciate you have this meeting with me, Michael, and we hopefully stay. Like I said, maybe your station is local, like my restaurant is local, and we just need to get together more often and express our feeling.
Yeah, I am an organizer for a petition towards labeling of GMO foods in New Jersey. Well, we have to kind of think backwards and think about why it is that the big agricultural companies like Monsanto and Cargill don't want food labeled. They say there's nothing wrong with it, and their research shows that genetically modified foods, which have been altered, in the laboratories, and what genetically modified means basically is that these seeds contain pesticides within them, and not only are these seeds harmful because we ingest the food inside our body, but genetically modified foods like these seeds that are controlled by Monsanto, which is basically most of the wheat and soy and corn in our country, basically are suicide seeds, which means that these seeds can't regenerate themselves. So in order for farmers to produce these seeds, if they choose to, year after year, they have to buy them every year from Monsanto. So these research companies now are being controlled by Monsanto and Cargill and the big food agricultural organizations. They call them Big Ag. And when research is controlled by these companies, then the research that they want to show is somehow swayed by these companies and their desire to make big bucks, sacrificing people's health, sacrificing small farmers, and the way they've been doing business in this country, the small farmers, for hundreds and hundreds of years. So not only are authentic seeds that farmers have been using, they're being sacrificed because Monsanto has this dirty little deal going where their seeds fly into organic seeds farmers' fields. And then Monsanto basically sues the small farmer, saying that they've stolen their seed. So Monsanto is huge business all over the world. They've tried to patent all the seeds all around the country, all around the world, from India's cotton to Brazil's soybeans to Mexican corn. They're telling Indians how to grow cotton. They're telling Mexicans how to grow corn. They're telling Brazilians how to grow wheat. Okay, well, it's too big right now to fight everything. So I'm starting right here in New Jersey, and so far, Maine and Connecticut have passed bills to have their foods in supermarkets labeled genetically modified, so that you and me, the average consumer, can make an educated choice about what we want to put inside our body. So I'm starting with New Jersey. Yeah. Well, Monsanto and Cargill and these big agricultural food organizations are spending literally millions and millions every month. So whenever a bill comes up in whether it's in the state or in Congress, they are spending millions of dollars to fight that. So for example, in Proposition 37 in California, which we lost, and you think California, with all these small farmers, you would think that a bill to pass food labeling would pass. But it didn't, because Monsanto spent millions and millions of dollars to fight it, and they give the way that they are educating the public about why labeling is bad is by saying, well, it's going to cost you a lot more for us to put a label on the containers saying GMOs. Well, that's not true, because they change labels all the time to say, it's good for your heart. Kellogg's saying it's good for your heart. They say all kinds of things. They change labels all the time for their benefit. But just to say GMO free, that's not a really good argument at all. But people, have fallen for it. So, we just need, I think already, pressure is being put on these organizations like Monsanto and Cargill and Big Agriculture because people are demanding it. They're demanding to know what they're eating. And so in this case, if it's Connecticut, Maine, and New Jersey, then we're just going to start a big movement, and just do it one state at a time. MoveOn.org is a great organization, and it's a great tool for people to write their own petitions. And so MoveOn.org said, write your own petition. So I thought, okay, I'll write my own petition. And basically, let me just get the petition and I'll tell you exactly what it says. Okay, my petition, which is on MoveOn.org, says New Jersey deserves to know if our food has been genetically modified. Please sign if you support GMO labeling in New Jersey. And so basically, there's a space to write your petition. And then they really, MoveOn.org walks you through how to get momentum on your petition. They keep you on track of how many signers you've gotten, and they keep you on track about who you want it specifically to be addressed to. So for example, mine are all the state representatives in New Jersey, including Governor Christie, as well as President Barack Obama. So either they give you a choice that they will email your petition and all the signers directly to the representatives, or you can go yourself. So what I did when I was halfway through my petition is that I met with an aide of Christie and gave him all the signatures so far that I'd gotten. So I'm hoping that any of you viewers out there will go on to this petition. Again, it is New Jersey deserves to know if our food has been genetically modified. And that's basically, if you look on moveon.org, you'll find it. And I will give you the petition site so you can connect it right onto it. Big Agriculture has a systematic plan to control all of the food in our world. And if you think to yourself, why are companies like DuPont and Monsanto, who are the biggest chemical companies in the world, controlling our food? There's something wrong with that. So when chemicals are introduced into the seeds themselves, how is that affecting our body? Will we actually know what the research really is showing, or has the research been skewed for the benefit of profit for Monsanto, Cargill, DuPont, and these chemical companies that are now controlling our food? So if you are concerned about your health and the food that you are eating, and you want to replicate a petition in your state, then I would suggest you do so. You would go to moveon.org and write your own petition saying that your state and the people in your state deserve to know what they are buying and what they're putting in their bodies. So please label foods. So think about this. Monsanto, DuPont, our chemical companies, want farmers around the world to only buy their seeds. So they want a seed monopoly, and they are doing it. They are doing it all around the world. Europe and the EU, except for just a couple of countries, have banned. They've banned genetically modified foods. Kenya has just banned it. Haiti threw Monsanto out but we still have Monsanto controlling what we eat. Why are they so afraid of genetic modified labeling? Why is it that they are so afraid? Now, if we think about lots and lots of different things that have been happening in our country. All right. First of all, small farmers' livelihoods are disappearing. Why is it? Because big agriculture is controlling the seeds now. What is happening to our bodies? Okay, there are more and more health issues, from cancers to infertility, to all different kinds of childhood diseases. Well, they're not diseases, but neurological issues. Some people believe that that is connected with the genetically modified suicide seeds, that we are ingesting pesticides. But who's going to actually research that if now research in our biggest universities are controlled by big corporations that are funding this research? Monsanto just bought the biggest bee research company in our country. Why? Because bees are dying. The bees that are responsible for seeds regenerating themselves. Well, who's going to do that research if Monsanto has now bought bee researching companies? These suicide seeds are responsible for killing all this organic stuff that's in our soil. Worms, all kinds of bugs. So now all that biodiversity has disappeared. Okay, so what does that mean? What are the implications for our soil? So these are some of the things that one has to think about. Everything is connected. And this is all about profit. Who is benefiting? That's what we have to think to ourselves. I want to thank you, Michael, so much for letting me be a part of your show, Meet the Farmer. What you're doing on this show is absolutely wonderful. And some people might think to themselves, well, we can't stop Monsanto. Well, we can't stop big agriculture, but that's just not true. We can stop them one seed at a time, one signature at a time. Okay, let's make this a wave across this country, starting from the east going west. California couldn't do it. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll do it next time. And then we'll just work our way towards the middle. All right, we can do it, one signature at a time. Thank you so much.
Well, there you have it. Join us next time for another episode of Meet the Farmer TV. This program is a production of Meet the Farmer TV, LLC, in association with Planet Earth Diversified, Melli Productions, and Leslie P. Jenkins Photography and Graphic Design.